Good morning, I'm Corey. I live here with my wife Amanda on 100 acres off-grid in the wheat belt of WA. What are we making today? Well, on the homestead, I feel you can never have too much like covered area, like sheltered area, you know? And as you know, we don't have like a big massive shed to put everything in. We only got this little shed. So we made the carport, which is bloody awesome for protection in the rain. Now we're going to make a little lean-to off the side of the shed here. It's going to come out 3 metres and be the full length, so 9 metres long. And that's where we can park like the Polaris and the mower, and that'll kind of clear up the shed to give a bit more room in the shed. That's what I like. So it's going to be pretty simple construction. We're just going 3 posts. 1, 2, 3. We do have a big rock down that end, so that may be very interesting, trying to drill the holes. So we're going to dig the holes, put concrete in the holes, and we're going to use plates on the bottom of the posts, like the carport build, and Chemi-Anchor them down, because I quite like that method, that system. And then just a basic structure with some framework and some rafters, all done out of steel, of course. And then chuck some sheets on, and then put a gutter on the low side, and then run that back to the tank. Let's just get a tape and some spray paint and mark some stuff out. Alright, so I've got my favourite colour. It's like pinky orange, faded pinky orange, you know. Found my purple tape, so that's good. How far off there are we going to be? Alright, so the post will be about 2.5 metres off the shed, and then the 3 metre roof, by the time you put it on a bit of an angle, the sheets will come out probably, you know, another 400-ish. So if we go about there, and we'll roughly line this up. You don't have to be too accurate with... You don't have to be too accurate with the concrete footings, because I'm making them about 400 square, right? Probably say 500 deep with a big, you know how we like to build the bottom out, so it's like nice and secure. But then you've got manoeuvrability where you put the plate and the post. Oh, we might just bring this post in a bit, because the line of the shed is actually in the middle of this rock here, so that's not ideal. So we'll come back a few hundred. Like that. What's next? We need to dig some holes. So, luckily, we've got Heidi. Heidi, the Hyundai excavator. We call her Heidi. We need to get the auger on there. And then Mrs. RP is going to come out, and we're going to see if I can reach. I should be able to, because I can't get the excavator in here because somebody built a carport there. But I can get it up there. We should be able to reach over and drill those holes. And Mrs. RP is just going to spot me and kind of guide things around, you know. And the next job is to get these hoses on, which sometimes proves to be challenging. So we'll give them a good wipe, because we don't want any, like, you know, dirt and stuff getting into the oil system. This one. Oh, here we go, that one. Oh, boom. Got it. Now that is great. We'll just tuck this little rag up in there, because that'll come in handy for later. Alright, we're good to go. Let's see if we can reach the hole with the drill bit. Alright, things are looking good.
I'm in charge of making sure this ends up in the right place. Ready?
No pressure?
No pressure.
Coming off in like layers as I peel it out with the shovel. Could make pots out of that. And that's it for holes. Now, we just got to fill them with cement. Alright, we made it back with the cement. That's good. You know how much I like, mixing cement and digging holes. So, yeah, I'm a little bit fussy. I like to stack my cement bags up so they're like nice and flat and stacked nicely on top of each other. So I just find if I have the bag stacked up neat, cutting them in half is just so much easier. Just a quick slip with the knife, cut the paper, fold it in half. I don't spill any. Works well. Alright, so I'm running low on the sand and blue metal mix. It's like a pre-mix that the local landscaping shop does. They just mix it up, some sand, some aggregate, and call it pre-mixed concrete mix, whatever, something like that. So I've got a bucket down there, the big bucket on the excavator. The excavator's up there, but the bucket is down there, and that's full of that same stuff. So I'm just going to go get the excavator and get that and empty that into the trailer. So that's my plan. I'll see you when I'm back here tipping it in. Let's go pour this last one together, eh? So, we're back. As you can see, I've got the footings in, cleaned up, fresh slate, ready to go. Now they've been in roughly a week. When did we do them? I think I did them on last Saturday or Sunday. Today's Friday. So been in about 5 days. That's plenty. Now I am waiting on the truck to rock up with all the steel that we need. So I'm kind of at a little standstill, but I have got stuff I can do. So I went to the laser cutters and I picked up a little box of goodies. Okay? So just got these plates here. These are just, you know, square plates with a couple of holes, and that's what we're going to weld our post to, and that's what we're going to bolt down to the concrete. So I'm thinking I might be able to pre-drill all the holes in the concrete, set these up from a whatever measurement from the shed, make them all the same, straight line, you know, string, blah blah blah, and then drill them down, and might be able to set the Chemi-Anchor bolts in the concrete, because we like using Chemi-Anchors. I think they're way better than Dynabolts. I think Dynabolts are crap. So Chemi-Anchors is just like a 2-part epoxy glue that you glue a bit of threaded shaft or threaded rod into the concrete, and it does not go anywhere. Whereas I feel like a Dynabolt, when you do a Dynabolt up in the concrete, yeah, you do it up tight, but there's nothing sort of holding it. And I don't know if this is going to make sense or not. If I give the post a bit of a nudge, right, so I've done this up with Dynabolts, right, and I give the post a bit of a hit, it kind of pulls the post, like tweaks it a bit, and I find the Dynabolt just moves that microscopic amount in the concrete, and all of a sudden it's loose. You've got to redo it up. Whereas a Chemi-Anchor, once it's glued in the concrete, it is not coming out. They are super, super strong. Yes, they cost more, but once they're in, they're in. Done. All right, tools of choice. Oh, start with the big one. Just a cordless 18 volt Milwaukee hammer drill. Tape measure, of course. Purple one, of course. A 6mm and a 12mm hammer gun concrete drilling bit. So I start with the 6mm to get like the, you know, like a pilot hole basically all the way down. We're only going about 110mm down, right? And then I'll finish it off with the 12, just a bit easier on the tool really. If you drill I mean, it will drill the 12mm no problem at all, but I just prefer to start with the little one and work my way up. We'll put that there. And then these are the Chemi-Anchor bolts. So there's 10 in a packet. Okay, so that is a Chemi-Anchor bolt. Just a bit of high tensile threaded rod, right? And basically just has a nut on the end. And it's got that funny shape on the end because it does come with like a little hex head bit that you can put on into your drill, and you kind of screw it into the glue as you're putting it in the hole. But I don't use that. I just use my finger and I just kind of give it a little bit of a plunge and a twist. And you kind of feel it, you know, like you'll push it in. There'll be a little bit of air in the hole. And as you're sort of turning it a bit, and you maybe only lifting it 10 or 15 mil as you're turning it, and you'll feel the air bubble come out, and it will go bloop, right? And then you'll feel it'll be like quite firm in there. It will. And then you just make sure you set it at the right depth, so push it in as far as you need, leaving, you know, a few threads on top for the bolt. So that'll sit through the plate like that essentially. Right, and then once it's all dried, you can crank it up as tight as you want. And honestly, I reckon if you were to crank it tight, when it's fully cured, you would probably snap the thread before you ruptured the glue. The glue is so strong. It is so strong. Okay, now we need to find the average type measurement off the shed to these 3 plates. Roughly. And then, oh, forgot the most important part of the tool thing. Pencil. Need a pencil. So, the hole in the centre is, I get a scrap bolt, right, which kind of fits in, doesn't it? There we go. Okay. That's just a 12mm bolt, right, just out of my little bolt bucket, nothing special. It doesn't really do anything apart from keep this plate off the concrete. Alright, now the reason for that is, if you've got a plate like this and it pivots in the centre, right, depending on how much you do these bolts up, once they're set in with the glue, you know, not now, but once they're glued in, the further you do each bolt up, the more the plate will pivot on that centre bolt, right? I have in past just used a nut under there or a little off-cut bit of metal, but I just thought, when I get these ones cut, I'll just get a hole in the centre and I can put a bolt in it and it can just pivot on that. So it can be anything, as long as it's not like, don't use a rock or something, because the rock might crush as you do it up. You don't want that. So then we can put the level on the post. And if we need to tilt the post one way or another way, we just do up the nuts on the relevant side and it will just totally plumb the post up and you'll be able to get that post, I'm going to say 100% level. Well, as level as your level is, you know, and you'll be able to get it level both ways. It's a very good method. It's a good system, I feel. All right, enough talk. Let's go drill the other 8 holes. They're done, right, and I've got, well, that didn't actually use that much. So the nozzle is buggered because there's mixed glue in it and that'll go off like a rock. Okay, so we'll take that off. Now give this end, you can see on the end there, the 2 different glues. Now just give that a wipe with your finger and basically you're just trying to separate the 2 different colours of glue so they don't mix with each other and go off. Right, I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, then we put the lid back on, store it in the shed out of the sun, and it lives to fight another day. So I'll probably just leave these now until the steel gets here, and then we'll cut and weld the posts on and then plumb them up.